Today's a fun day. We get to be with Benny Miller today. Benny is, you hate to say that you have favorite employees, but you certainly have those that you come across in your time with Clockner that stand out to you, and Benny has been one of those for me. I first met him 6 years ago here in Shreveport. He is the burning table operator here, and I remember walking through the plant the first time and seeing this distinguished gentleman, and I stopped and I chatted with him for a while, and Benny has a unique story, but we're here also to reflect upon his career and celebrate with him as he will be retiring this fall. And what day will you be retiring?
28th of October, on my birthday.
And there's something special about that day. It's your birthday.
That's my birthday.
Yeah. Which birthday might that be, if you don't mind me asking?
73 years old.
73 years old. So one of the unique things about your story is that you've been employed in this building for an awful long time.
Ever since 1969.
1969. That means that probably 3/4 of the employees of our company weren't even born yet when you came to work here for the first day. What company was that with?
Steel Sales and Service.
Steel Sales and Service, and they hired you on a Tuesday, you had told me one day.
Mm-hmm.
And you got your first paycheck?
I had put in 70 some hours.
In your first week?
On my first week.
And you started on a Tuesday?
On a Tuesday, that's right.
So you went from not working to working a double all week?
All week, that's it. We were just.
And when we were here for Employee Appreciation Day, I had asked you how much money you made when you first hired. What was your starting pay rate?
$1.25 an hour.
$1.25 an hour. Was that a fair wage at the time?
Yeah, that was the going rate then, I guess.
And you just recently were raised to $2.22 an hour, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did you do when you first started working here?
I put some 12-foot coil rolls in the racks. And they had little racks, that each side went in. So I shivered them in there all day long.
All day and all night if you'd worked 70 hours the first week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we purchased, I think in May of 2007. May of 2007 we bought this place. And you were here, and you've done an awful lot right in those 14 years. So we were thankful to have had you here. So when you retire, what are your plans? What do you?
Well, I'm just gonna take it easy for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You deserve to take it easy.
Stop getting up every morning so early if I can, because I've been driving over 100 miles a day.
Really?
All that time.
Where do you live?
In Hannah.
Hannah,
Louisiana.
So it's 50 miles each way?
Yeah.
So you've got an hour to get to work and an hour to get home.
And never be late.
Never been late.
Don't never be late.
Well, that's why we're here celebrating your time with us, because you've been a model employee. And we're thankful for that. So what's you've been here in this building for 52 years. What has been your favorite job that you've done?
Well, I guess the burn table, I guess. We had a travel lift out on the yard for the handle of the beam. And I did that before I moved to the travel lift, but I did pipes, drive the forklift and got pipes. I done worked in every bay. I done run saws. I even run a tracer on that burning. They had a tracer, you had to draw it on the paper, and it had to trace your drawings out. Yeah, I ran that too.
Okay. And how long have you been on the burning table?
Probably about 20-some years.
So that's what you've been doing the last many years.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to learn how to run the burning table?
Maybe a couple of months. When they hired me to run a burning table, was over at Service Steel, and they hired a guy to come in after he get off work when they bought their burning machine, and he'd come in and give me pointers, and once I got the basics, well, I just went from there,
If you were to give advice to other burning operators that we have in our company, just starting out, what would you say makes a good burning operator?
Pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure you get the right material. You got to double check when you get them tickets and look at them more than once, you know, instead of just going getting some cutting it. You double check when you come to your table with your material, and that way you got a less chance of making mistakes.
So we were here earlier this morning. We saw a lot of the parts on the floor, and you've done a wonderful, wonderful job. The quality that comes off of the table that you've done is fantastic. So you're obviously paying attention.
I try to do my best.
How have you enjoyed working for Clockner these last 14 years?
I enjoyed it. I done been through quite a few managers and stuff, but you know, I ain't had no problem with them, you know, cause I abide by the rules.
Right, and your teammates here, good guys to work with?
Yeah, I said, we got, you know how it is. I enjoy working with them.
What would you say to the rest of the people at Clockner, if you could say anything to the rest of the team?
Just they expect you to do your job, you know, and you do your best, and that's all you can do, you know. Even though maybe sometimes it might not be your job, but if they tell you to do something, you're getting the same pay, so do whatever you're told to do. Yeah.
And we think we're a pretty good company to work for.
I think y'all.
Yeah, and people like you certainly make it a heck of a lot better. Well, Benny, thank you for your years of service. I know you still have a few months to go. You and Evie, God bless you in your retirement. A toast I like to make is, may the best of your former days be the least of your future days. May your time in retirement be fantastic, and thank you for all you've done for us.
Okay, and thank you.
All right.